All right. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All things in the building. What's going on? iBoxing Hub. What's going on, sir? Sky Miller in the building. What's going on? Cadillac 634 in the dough. Richard Paris. What's happening? Sky Miller. Edwin Volaton. Barbara D. Good morning, Barbara D. Ray Patterson. All black all day. Yeah, man. Black all day, every day. Sam in the building. What's going on, man? Mr. Gallimore, all things. Jacker One. What's Ray? I think I said what's up to Ray Patter. What's going on, Mr. Stoudemire? I ain't had a fight with you in a while. We ain't had a what the hell? I ain't had a fight with you in a while. Yeah, man. All right. So I'll wait for y'all, some of y'all cats to get in the building. Man, I like you in the comment section, bro. What you be jumping on, man, we be fighting them. What's going on, Dark Truth? All things in the building. This is going to be a shorter show. So just to let you know, I am going to be off this show at 10:30. It's a 2.5 hour show. This is not going to be a 4-hour show. If you want to get your smoke in, get your smoke in. Look, man, we're going to talk about a few things today. First of all, Gervonta Davis changes his name to Abdul Wahid. I am not calling that man Abdul Wahid. His mama named him Gervonta. No, his mama named him Tank. I'm going to call him Tank, bro. I'm calling him Tank. Man, hey, what's going on, William Cooper? Daniel Gallimore, thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man, because, it's tough around these parts right now. Thank you, Daniel Gallimore. His mama named him Tank. I'm going to call him Tank. I won't call him Gervonta. I'll just call him Tank. Tank. That's his new name. Tank. Tank. That's what I'm going to call his ass. Tank. 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 Hey, for now, his mama named him Tank. That's what I heard. I heard his mama called him Tank. I heard his mama named him Tank. All things, what's going on, man? What's up, Mr. Volaton? Man. Y'all, by the way, man, I'm about to talk about y'all hating on, You got it. Barbara Davis says, Super Chat Thursdays. Thank you, sister. Appreciate you massively. Thank you for the $10 holler. Thank you. Thank you for that support. It means so much. Really, really does, man. Frequent flyer is what I am to BFTB. What you mean? You be harassing BFTB? Dark Truth said monologue. Sure, I'll give you a monologue. Y'all some hating ass, fake ass Terence Crawford fans. Y'all hating fake Terence Crawford fans. And I knew all you frauds were going to come on out there at a certain point in time. I knew it. I've been telling y'all for a while, y'all some fraudulent Terence Crawford fans. Y'all are not real Terence Crawford fans. Y'all been hating on Terence. Once y'all was all full board on pro Terence Crawford when all that Errol Spence Jr. stuff was going on. But now when it's time to support your guy, you acting like he ain't do nothing. I told you these dudes are fake Terence Crawford fans. And when it came down to it, I would be supporting Terence Crawford when a lot of you people that claim you Terence Crawford don't support him. Give that man his fighter of the year, man. Give that man his fighter of the year. You got cats out here talking about, they was so pro Terence until it's time to decide whether or not they're not going to give a fighter of the year to a dude that just beat somebody that was a 12-1 underdog. Now, don't get me wrong, Monster Inoue had a very good year. I can understand why some people would say Monster Inoue. I can understand it. Tank is the underside. Tank is the A side. Tank is the A. What do you mean? How can somebody say Tank is not the A side? Tank is definitely the A side. He's the only side. He's the A and the B side. We ain't gonna turn this Hanos, man. Thanos don't drive nothing. Hanos. What the hell is Hanos anyway? After Bud beat Spence, I swear I seen hundreds of new Bud fans come out of nowhere in every chat. Fake Bud fans for sure. Yeah, but now when it's time to support him for Fighter of the Year, they ain't got nothing to say. It's in a way. It's in a way. It's in a way. It's in a way. I feel like they're trying to undermine Bud's double undisputed by saying Inoue did it faster. That's why I've never liked that faster thing. I don't like that faster thing. That faster thing is politics. I'm not giving anybody credit for politics. The reason you could get it fast is if you're able to get the fights. Monster Inoue's, though none of those guys are draws at all, and all of them are happy to go get that money over there in Japan. I'm not giving anything to that at all, man. I'm not giving anything to that at all. None of that how fast you did it stuff. Okay? Because when you say how fast, you got to take into consideration the politics. Devin did not do it faster. Devin didn't do it. Did what? It took him 7 years. What do you mean he did it faster? It took Devin 7 years to become undisputed. 7 years. 7 or 10. How long did it take? 10 years? 10 years? Come on, man. Now, for real, it took him 7 years. How does that faster? 7 years? Josh Taylor did it faster. Josh Taylor did it faster. Much faster than Devin Haney did. Teofimo Lopez did it faster than Devin Haney did. You guys just make up shit to give your fighters credit. Can't take that Inoue shit that serious with him fighting a weak division and having home games. I don't really care about the home games. I think there's plenty to credit Monster Inoue for. I don't have to take away from Monster Inoue. And honestly, man, I think it's close. I can understand the logic. I don't understand the logic of not giving Terence Crawford his credit, though, if you're a Terence Crawford fan, and he overcame Errol Spence, and that was definitely a tougher route than fighting Marlon Tapales or Steve Fulton Jr. They're just tripping because he's younger, Martin. Barber D, watch this. He wasn't younger than Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez was undisputed. Absolutely was undisputed. And let me tell you something, Mr. Smith. Shame on you for saying otherwise. Teofimo Lopez was undisputed, and you guys are not going to lie on my channel anymore. You need to stop stealing from that young man. You need to stop stealing from him. That man was an undisputed champion at 135 pounds, and he was younger than Devin. You guys don't have a choice. You guys don't get, it's not your choice. All that propaganda. Where the record at? He held all 4 major belts, Myron. He held all 4 of them at the same time. That makes you undisputed. Devin didn't have shit. Devin had a secondary belt. I don't give a shit what you guys say. You guys are stealing from that kid. You're stealing from that kid. And shame on you for doing it. Shame on you for lying on that kid or not doing enough research to know that that man was undisputed. Just like you tried to steal, just like y'all tried to steal, just like you tried to steal, they tried to steal Bernard Hopkins' record. Stop lying. That man is undisputed. The WBC said that's his champion. The WBC said that's our champion. So did the other 4 sanctioning bodies. That man is undisputed. You guys need to stop stealing from Teofimo Lopez to make it's not even necessary because Devin still did it. You're just stealing from the man for no reason. You're stealing from the man for no reason. Somebody unblock frequent flyer. I'm shooting you every time you say that, man. You got to stop stealing from that kid. Give that man his proper respect for what he accomplished so that other people can give your fighter the respect that they deserve. You guys are hypocrites. You want somebody to give Devin credit for every time he farts But then when it's time to give Teofimo Lopez credit for what he did, you don't want to give it to him off some technicality that you're bringing up, off some BS technicality that you're bringing up, as if you have the right to decide that. Hey, Fanon, why is BoxRec or Google doing him like that? No, I don't want to give a shit about Google or BoxRec. Please explain how and when Teofimo when he beat Lomachenko for the WBC franchise belt, and the WBC said that the franchise champion is our champion for Undisputed. That's when. Click, clack, slaughter. That's when. When the WBC said he was. I'm not arguing with this stupid shit anymore. He was undisputed. He held all the major belts for all 4 sanctioning bodies at the same time. That is undisputed. And the sanctioning body gets to determine what belt. Just like the WBA gets to say the WBA super, so did the WBC with their stupid franchise belt. Stop stealing from Teofimo Lopez, man. Stop stealing from that kid. No, he can't get his wrench back. He can sit back there wrenchless. You're tearing Devin down. T. Orlando Pearson, you are a CRC counselor. You know you're full of shit. You specifically know you're full of shit because you know whose rules they are. You know how to follow rules. You know what rule. You know whose decision that is, T. Orlando. You know it. You're better than that, T. Orlando. You know that. You know how to read rules. You get paid. Say, yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah. You know how to read. You know how to read rules and how to apply rules. That man is undisputed. And shame on y'all for not giving that kid his credit. You stealing from that kid. And I'm going to say that forever because he's the youngest undisputed champion in the 4-belt era. Not Teofimo Lopez, not Devin Haney. What do you mean B1? Hold on, let me give his wrench back. Let me give Frequent his wrench back. Y'all need to stop stealing from that man, though. For real. Stop stealing from Tio. Stop stealing from that man. And I'm never going to stop saying it. Stop stealing from that man. Just like they were trying to steal, y'all ain't no better than when they was trying to steal, when them same writers were trying to steal from when they were trying to steal from Bernard Hopkins in his championship by counting the WBC World Championship when no boy had the super. When somebody else had the super. When Felix Strum had the super. And you want to go with them lion-ass media. The lion-ass media. Because y'all didn't like the franchise belt. I'm not hating on Devin. That has nothing to do with Devin at all. It has nothing to do with Devin. Nothing. Teofimo Lopez being the undisputed champion has absolutely nothing to do with Devin Haney. Nothing. He's not connected to it at all. Devin Haney is still the undisputed champion. He still became undisputed. Him being undisputed, Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez being undisputed does not do anything to Devin Haney. Nothing. And I challenge anybody to tell me how it does. Nobody is saying, I'm not saying that Teofimo Lopez, that Devin Haney was not undisputed. Devin's got a duck belt. It's not your choice. How about it's not even your choice? You don't get a decision. The hell are you guys talking about? You don't even get a decision. It's not up to you. It's not up to you. You don't get a choice as to who the WBC champion is. You don't get a choice. Any more than somebody gets to just say because they don't like the competition that Deontay Wilder fought that he wasn't a champion. You guys are some fucking hypocrites. You guys are hypocrites, and you need to stop doing it to that guy. You need to stop doing it to that guy. They were both undisputed, and that doesn't take anything away from Devin. You guys are just haters. You guys are just going with a lie, lying on that man. So what if Devin's the people's choice? So what? What does that got to do with Teofimo Lopez being undisputed? You guys just make shit up. Gervonta Davis isn't the A side now. Gervonta's not the A side either, huh? Is that what a frequent flyer? Is Gervonta Davis the A side over Devin Haney? Or do you got some new? I give a fuck. Fuck you and them. Fuck out of my face. Fuck you and them. And anybody whose name you pop up when it comes to this. No disrespect to him specifically. My F used to F you. You can't get out of it, dog. Nobody can. Yes, and Kambosos as well. You cannot get out of that. There's no way, because it's the WBC's decision. It's not ESPN's decision. It's not Ring Magazine's decision. It's not the Google page. It's not Wikipedia's decision. It is the WBC's decision who the WBC champion is. And that is it, period. You don't get a vote. You don't get a vote. But anyway, you don't get a vote. But okay, can't wait. I can't wait till they do it to a black man. Let them do it. Oh, I can't wait till they do it, because I'm going to rub that shit in your face. I swear, when they do that to a black dude, I am going to rub that shit in your face, you hypocrites. The WBC, they created a belt, the WBC franchise belt, that they put above the WBC world title, and that is their right to do it. Lomachenko won that WBC world title in the ring. He won it in the ring against Luke Campbell, and then they elevated him, and you're trying to act like they can't elevate him. They can elevate him, and when they elevated him, well, they said it wouldn't be transferable. They changed their mind. They have the right to change their mind. You don't have the right to tell anybody who their champion is. You don't have the right to do it. You lying sacks of shit. And I'm sitting there getting all kind of heat from Teofimo Lopez's fans when I'm the one defending them. Anyway, man, shut up, Myron Smith. You're dog. Seriously, Myron. You're full of shit. If you think that you got the right to tell the WBC who their champion is, you don't have the right to do it. It's not up to you. We, and you're not a we, you're a you. You're a you. You speak for one person. All you bullshit ass people, and not necessarily you. I know I may be sounding extra heated on you, but I mean that to everybody. You are one person. You do not speak for more than one person. You speak for yourself. You. We are. Who's we? Who the hell is we? Man, stop stealing from that man. They didn't screw Devin T. Orlando. How do they screw Devin? You guys need to get your head up underneath Devin Haney's ass. Every decision is not based on whether or not it's good or bad for Devin. Like, well, I only will support the rule if it's good for Devin. If it's good for Devin, that's a good rule. If it's a bad rule for Devin, it's a bad rule. Like, man, if y'all don't stop. No, Tio is not a two-time undisputed. No. He's not a two-time undisputed. He's a one-time undisputed. I don't even like that lineal stuff. I don't even like the lineal stuff. It's terrible too. But whatever. Will you stop stealing from that dude? Stop acting like that, like Teofimo, like Devin Haney didn't get elevated to that secondary belt, knowing full well that he was getting elevated to that secondary belt when he got it. Devin was told that's a secondary belt that you're getting elevated to, and he knows it. Devin knew it, so why don't you know it? If Devin knew it, why didn't you know it? We told Devin that Teofimo Lopez, that Lomachenko was the champion. He wasn't confused. All of a sudden, you're confused. Conveniently confused. The WBC can elevate Devin, but they can't elevate Lomachenko. Devin knew it. All of a sudden, you're conveniently confused. Ring Magazine said, because Dougie Fisher doesn't like their belt. I don't give a shit whether Dougie Fisher likes their belt or not. Well, ESPN says, I could give a shit if Mike Coppinger likes that belt or not. That's my ESPN is Mike Coppinger. Man, Schmo Boxing, he was the undisputed champion, bro. I don't want to hear none of that shit. He's the undisputed champion. He was undisputed, and he lost it. And George Kambosos became undisputed. And then Devin beat George Kambosos, and he became undisputed. I don't understand why y'all won't give people their credit. Even if you don't like them, give them their credit. Always steady calling somebody a hater, and you're the biggest hater of them all. I ain't letting you have nothing. I'm not letting you lying asses have nothing. Because if I let you lying asses have something, then I got to let you lying asses have something later. I'm not letting you have nothing. I'm not letting you have nothing. Get that kid his credit, man. Stop lying on that kid. I'm not giving you nothing but a hard time and an ass whooping. That's it. Hard time, and the only thing I'm giving you is hard times and regrets. I ain't trying to hear none of that. And I mean it. Y'all tripping. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking, man. Rollo's going to get blocked forever. I'm sick of Rollo. Rollo's a fucking idiot. Rollo told me, man, I stopped talking to me like that. I would never talk to you. You would never talk to me in person. And you know what I thought when he said that? I was like, you know what? If we were in person, I wouldn't speak to you at all. I got to treat you like I would treat you in person. I wouldn't speak to you at all. If I know somebody was that big a buffoon, I wouldn't even talk to him. I'd be like, well, okay, that's what you think? Okay, you're a buffoon. And I'd walk on. I wouldn't even call you a buffoon. I'd just leave. So if I won't talk to you like that in person, I shouldn't be talking to you at all. Because dude, if I saw you, I'd walk right by you. You guys, hey man, I ain't like some of y'all. You guys think, man, if I saw you in person, I would walk right by you. I would look, even if you looked me in my eye, I would walk right by you. And walk on by, right on by. Where's Ismael Barossa in my pound for pound list? Ismael Barossa is not on my pound for pound list. He's on my year for year list, though. I don't know a better 60-year-old boxer than Ismael Barossa. Rallo said y'all won't pop that shit to him in person. Let me tell you something, man. All you guys talking crazy, as soon as my kid gets out of my house, I'm buying a gun. Y'all talk too crazy. You are going to force me to weaponize. You're going to force me to weaponize. Like, okay, I won't talk to you like that. Yeah, I bet I will. I live in a state where I can just carry that shit like a holster. You never say shit about you. You don't never say shit about Tank. You just hate Dev. What do I got? I didn't say anything about Tank anyway. What should I say about Tank, Mr. Hughes? Tank. What do you want me to lie about with Tank? You guys just lie so much. I don't say anything bad about Devin either. I say things bad about you. I don't say anything bad about Devin. I say bad things about you and the things that you say because you be lying too much. Hey, man, here's the link. I need to fight somebody today so I can make some money. Hey, that's what I will say. Hey, man, look. Hey, man, I got to tell the truth for a living. I can't lie because ain't nobody paying me for that. Okay, I'm sorry. I turned down. I've never been allowed on that contract. I've been never allowed on that. I can just make shit up and have somebody support me for making shit up. So there's the link. Somebody explain to me how the WBC doesn't get to make their own decisions. I'm waiting. How can I not have my own pound for pound list? How can you have your own pound for pound list, but the WBC can't have their own champion? I would love to have this conversation with somebody that will not evade the question. Tank. That's his new name. Tank. Wherever faith is involved, there lies a deep concentration on mental and spiritual growth alike. Hey, thank you. I agree with that. Changing rules to hurt Dev. They did it before. It had no effect on Devin whatsoever. Changing rules to hurt Devin. You some fucking crybabies. They did something that Devin didn't want. Man, you guys change rules for Devin all the time. You guys change rules for this kid all the time. I mean, rule after rule after rule gets changed. You change rules all the time for Devin. Now the A side has nothing to do with money. Because Devin wants it. Bud, Tank, Inouye, Boots, Morrell. Wow, you got Morrell way up there. Shakur, Benavidez, Bivol, Beterbiev, Devin. Dog, I got Shakur above Devin. I got Shakur in any list above Debbie Poole. Hey, hope all is well. Bless your family. Thank you, brother. Puerto Rico. Thank you for that support. Poor Debbie. Poor Debbie Poole. Y'all change all kind of rules. You change rules every day. What's a duck? I had never heard of a 126-pounder ducking a 135-pounder before Devin Haney popped up. I had never heard of it. Never heard of it. Never. All the time I've been listening to people get called ducks. I had never heard of a 126-pound fighter. A 126-pound fighter ducking a 135-pound fighter because the 135-pound fighter called him out. And he didn't immediately drop his belt, and move up 2 weight classes to fight him. I had never heard that before, ever. I got that going, brother. I didn't forget it. I had never heard of that. I had never heard of that before. Has anybody ever heard of that before? A 126-pounder ducking, being called a duck because he wouldn't move up, drop his title, move up 2 weight classes, and fight somebody at 135 on a different network. Have you ever heard that before? I never heard that before. I was amazed that people even let that out of their mouth. But it happened with Devin. Have you ever heard somebody ducking a non-mandatory for fighting a unification fight? I had never heard that before. Never heard it before. I heard it for Devin. I've never heard of somebody being the mandatory without ever being the mandatory. I've heard that for Devin multiple times. I've never heard these things before until Devin came around. I've never heard of these things. I literally had to read every one of the rule books. I had to at least review, be honest about it, review every one of the major sanctioned body rule books in order to dissect the bullshit you guys keep making up for him. I never heard of the biggest name in the weight division needing to ask to be the mandatory for somebody that's the B side. I had never heard that before. I had never heard that. I've never heard it. Activate the mandatory. I never even heard the word activate the mandatory before. You guys just keep coming up with new rules, but you got a problem with the WBC coming up with a new rule? How do you all make up rules every day? Hey, Gary Russell Jr. did not have Devin's name in his mouth. He had Terence Crawford's name in his mouth, not Devin's. Quan,
Hey, how's it going? Good morning.
it's going well, man. I can't complain, man.
Same here. Hey, I just got a quick question. About the undisputed and all that. Because I'm not saying I know everything. I just want to get clarification. I did hear when what's his name, Mauricio Suma of the WBC.
Yes.
I remember when he came out. I mean, the only reason why I'm saying, I see why there's a bit of confusion about who's undisputed, because Mauricio Suleiman had came out and he said that the belt can't be transferred, the franchise belt, and he said it was like a trophy or whatever, and like you could like not accept mandatories and stuff like that. So I think that's where the confusion's coming in at.
There ain't no confusion. There ain't no confusion. Mauricio Suleiman said, Teofimo Lopez is our champion. He is undisputed. There's no confusion at all. Mauricio Suleiman said it very clearly. That Teofimo Lopez is the undisputed champion because he is our champion. So no confusion.
And then another thing came out. Was that the other sanctioning bodies wasn't recognized in the franchise belt.
There is no such thing as that. That is bullshit. They don't have the ability to recognize anything.
Okay.
And let me explain it. The WBC does not have to ask the IBF if it's okay to name a champion. The IBF does not have to ask the WBA if it is okay to name a champion. They don't have to ask if it's okay to create a new belt. They don't have to ask their permission to create a new weight class. The IBF has no authority whatsoever over any other sanctioning body other than themselves. That is a bullshit line that people are using they are adding confusion with that. Did not recognize. Yeah, they didn't recognize it because they don't have the ability to recognize it. Have you ever heard of them ever recognizing another champion? Did they refuse the fight?
Nope.
Did they say, oh no, Teofimo Lopez can't fight? Teofimo Lopez has to fight George Kambosos. He can't fight Lomachenko. Matter of fact, there you go. Yes, they did recognize it. The IBF recognized it when they let Teofimo Lopez fight Lomachenko and not fight his mandatory. And there was no step aside money for that. There you go. The IBF definitely recognized it.
Okay,
because that was what the franchise champion. Man, I can't even believe it took me that long to brush aside that shit. The IBF already had a mandatory. Teofimo Lopez had a mandatory. If the IBF was not recognizing Vasily Lomachenko actually, does that hold? That doesn't hold because he had multiple belts. So you could say that he was unifying both. So let me go back to my original argument. Because there is a hole in that one. However, it doesn't matter because the WBA, there's nowhere that you will ever find written anywhere where the organization that names an undisputed champion. There isn't one. There is no official organization that does that. We don't even know what era we're in. How do we know that tomorrow Dan Raphael and Dougie Fisher won't start writing articles and say, well, you're not undisputed until the IBO, unless you got the IBO.
Right.
John Jackson, I need to see your face before I let you on. I'm not going to let you on unless I see your face.
But yeah,
at first, you don't have to. All right, Quan. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome, sir. Have a good one.
Yes. Yeah, you as well. All right, I can see you can cover it up now. What's going on, John Jackson? How can I help you?
What's going on, Fanon? I'm guessing you already know I disagree, but you know what I'm saying? That's neither.
No, I don't. I wouldn't let you know. I wouldn't know unless you said it, but there is no disagreeing. You might as well
it's a fairly disagreement. We ain't got to argue about it.
Excuse me, sir. You might as well tell me that you disagree that the moon is in the sky.
No, nothing you said was fact. It was all, you know what I'm saying,
No, it's
opinion-based.
100% fact.
It was no fact in there.
Really?
But
What's not a fact?
it was no fact.
What's not
You
a
said Teofimo and Camboso was undisputed. Those
Yep.
are complete lies. Complete lies. One of them on the ESPN, they got the list. They only
You're a
put
moron.
Tio on there.
You're a
My
moron.
You
You're a
said my
moron.
muffle? No, you're a moron. They got Tio on the list, but no Cambosos. So your argument flawed right there, and that's
No, it doesn't.
ESPN doing that.
ESPN.
doing that.
I'm sorry. Do
And
you know what
you were wrong. The belts
John.
were not recognized by the other section of bodies. So that is a lie you just told.
John.
You know what I'm
John.
saying?
John Jackson.
And Tio had a petition to get that belt.
John
A
Jackson.
fake belt.
John
It
Jackson.
wasn't just like he won it. He had to petition for it.
John Jackson.
Okay. All right. Continue with your lies. I want to hear them.
Here's my lie. The WBC decides who their champion is.
That's cat.
They don't decide who
It's only because they said Devin is the champion, and that belt was the franchise champion. And
the WBC.
they changed the rules. They changed the rules like 4 times.
Son, you're gonna stop talking over me. You're gonna definitely stop talking over me. Now I'm gonna do something that I usually don't do. You name the lie that I told, one by one, and I will not cut you off.
I just named them. I will happily name all your lies again.
Name the shit at one time.
Mm-hmm.
One at a time.
The first lie, you said Tio was undisputed.
Yes, he is. What's undisputed?
You have to have all the major belts. I don't know where the franchise came from.
Who decides who the major belts are?
The section of bodies, and they didn't say Tio was.
Name the person. Name the person.
The president of the section of bodies altogether.
There you go.
Nobody recognized Tio. Nobody recognized Tio.
Yes, they did.
No, he didn't. You're lying. You're lying. You're a liar.
I'm a liar. Stop right there.
You're a liar.
You're telling me Mauricio Suleiman did not recognize him, right?
No. I mean, if you want to pull up what videos you want to make it, but if you want to play it,
shut up. Shit. I'm trying to be polite to you. I'm trying to be polite, bro. Stop talking so I can show that you're full of shit and that you don't know what you're talking about. Sit back there. You want to know why I got a mute button? That's why I got a mute button. That's why I got a mute button.
You are a liar.
Read that right there. You've been talking. You're gonna keep talking to yourself.
You are a liar.
Right there. Read that.
You read it, liar.
Teofimo Lopez is the undisputed lightweight champion. Suleiman told Akin Barak, and whoever beats Tio, there is someone who beats him. He must be called undisputed. That is
so. Why is Camboso not on the list?
That is Mauricio Suleiman, the man that you just said did not call Teofimo Lopez undisputed.
Why is Camboso not on the list, you liar?
Here it is right there. He said,
why is Camboso?
There is no list, you buffoon. There is no list, buffoon. There is no list.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is a list.
Whose
yes,
list?
It is a list.
Whose list?
You got Rings list.
Buffoon. That's a magazine. ESPN does not name champions. Neither does Ring Magazine. It's a championship, you fucking idiot.
So now
you're an idiot. Is the ESPN a sanctioning body? I asked you, clown. Who names it? You said the sanctioning bodies. Is ESPN a sanctioning body, you idiot?
No, you.
Then shut your dumb ass up. So name to me a sanctioning body.
You're a fucking liar.
And your mother's a prostitute.
See, liars got to go personal when they fucking lying. You don't want person
like you. Liars got to go personal when they're fucking lying, like you. Because that's exactly what you just did. You went personal by calling me a liar when I got this shit sitting right on the screen for everybody to see. Right here. Right there, you bozo. Teofimo Lopez is the undisputed champion, Suleiman told Akin Barak. Whoever beats Teo, if there is somebody who beats him, he must be called undisputed. That, you moron, means both Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos, according to Mauricio Suleiman, was undisputed. So why did you lie and say that Mauricio Suleiman...
Why did you lie, Fanon? Why are you a liar?
That's what we're doing. We're doing kitty time now. We're doing baby time now. What's the next lie, you moron?
No, what's the next lie you're going to tell?
Here, the next lie is this. Did you know anything about boxing?
No, do you? Because you're calling people undisputed that wasn't.
He is undisputed.
You're lying.
Was he
You're
the
lying.
WBA champion?
No, sir.
He wasn't the WBA champion?
WBA, not WBC.
Was he even though the WBC...
All right, lie again.
The WBC, Teofimo Lopez is the undisputed champion. That's what Mauricio Suleiman said. Mauricio Suleiman's lying?
Your argument is baseless and flawed. You're a fucking liar.
Mauricio Suleiman's lying?
Yes, he's lying. When has he not lied? Now you trust Mauricio?
Mauricio Suleiman...
I guess.
Mauricio Suleiman named Devin Haney the WBC world champion. Was he lying?
And he also said Devin was the real champion. So
no,
are we yes, he did.
He didn't say he was
yes,
the
he
real
did.
champion.
Yes, he did.
No,
yes, he did.
This is the same article, liar. It's the same article. I have spoken to Devin. I have spoken with Devin and his father, and I think the franchise designation was created recently by the WBC. The idea and the purpose was to provide the best fights for fans. I'm very happy this year with the lightweight division that was achieved. Through the franchise naming, we got to see Teo and Lopez, and we saw Devin recovering from his injuries to fight Gamboa. We saw, so right there, he told him, Devin this. Teofimo Lopez is the undisputed champion.
No, he did it. You're a fucking liar.
Never said it. That so boxing. I'm lying about what that says.
You're lying because you're using fucking boxing scene as a source. Wow, get the fuck out of here.
I'm literally using Mauricio Suleiman's words as a source. That's Mauricio Suleiman. That's a quote from Mauricio.
Fanon, we could play most of the videos on what Mauricio said.
You think the WBC is lying? You think boxing scene is lying about that quote?
Yes, they lie all the time.
But ESPN, you think boxing scene lies all the time? Give me another time boxing scene lied.
They're lying right now because he said multiple things.
Dude, you're fucking delusional. You're a delusional dick rider. You're a delusional dick rider. You got a quote in your face and they're saying they're lying about what Mauricio Suleiman said, you fucking idiot. Get out of my face, you fucking buffoon. Redhead, what's going on, man? I see your face. How can I help you?
Hello, Fanon. How's your day going?
It's going well, man. How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to pick up on where you guys left off in terms of Teofimo being undisputed and whatnot, because I totally agree. And people need to understand this because it's very frustrating hearing all of these Devin Haney fans go on and on and on about Devin Haney being the first undisputed lightweight champion of the four-belt era. It's not true. The WBC franchise belt and the WBA Super act and function the same way. They eliminate your obligations for mandatories, right? They make the WBA regular champion, or not even the regular champion. It's still the world champion. It's still called the World Championship belt. And Gervonta fights those mandatories when Devin Haney was eliminated those obligations. Just like how Lomachenko was eliminated those obligations to unify with Teofimo Lopez to when these fans are quote unquote saying that Loma was ducking. He never ducked. He got elevated Just like Devin Haney got elevated to super when Tank was the world champion and was eliminated mandatory obligations. Unfortunately, Kambosos was undisputed. He is on that short list, unfortunately. But we just have to accept that. The belt acts the same way. It does the same thing.
No,
But
it does
nobody,
do the same thing, Ray. It absolutely, positively does the exact same thing.
it eliminates your obligation for mandatories.
And that belt was, and guess what? That petition stuff, Lomachenko petitioned for the WBA super belt.
And nobody was saying that Canelo wasn't the real champion when he got elevated at 160 and Jermall Charlo got the regular belt. Nobody was saying that.
Nope.
Absolutely no one. Nobody's saying that when Benavidez has the world championship belt and Canelo has the super at 168, that Canelo's still not undisputed. Nobody. But it's only a thing with Devin Haney at 135. And you notice that the super,
ridiculous.
And you notice that the franchise belt and the super title for the WBA are only in the popular weight classes with the big names anyways. They don't even exist in the in-betweener weight classes.
Let me ask you to read something real quick, if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all. Because
you seem like a young man with a nice brain and some honesty to yourself. So,
yeah, I listen a lot. I've been here since the Devin Haney being ducked by Lomachenko accusations, like all the way back in 2019, I believe, 2020, around there.
Yeah, and look what I'm going to do. This is a fact that people skip over. Consistently skip over when they talk about the fact that particular thing that somebody had to petition for a belt. And I'm going to show you something real quick. Give me 1 second. I have an irritation for people stealing people's accomplishments from them. All right. So can you see this screen?
Yes.
Do you see where it says what is that, May 12th of 2018, Vasily Lomachenko versus Jorge Linares?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you read the year for the fight preceding that? Because look, before I do that though, this is the WBA world. This is the history of the WBA Super World title, right?
All right.
Notice that this is Devin Haney, George Kambosos, right?
Okay, so this is the fight history of the super belt. All right.
Yes. Now, can you please tell me how long Vasily Lomachenko beat Jorge Linares?
That's a difference of 8 years.
Exactly. Do you know how that happened? Vasily Lomachenko petitioned for the super belt. Because if you look at Jorge Linares, you see that you see the fight right here where Vasily Lomachenko fought what is this? How's Vasily Lomachenko 10-0? What the fuck is this? Is that even possible? Was he 10-0 at the time? God, that's crazy. Okay, see, now look at this. You see what title's on the line for Vasily Lomachenko?
WBA Super World Light. Wait,
right. Do you see what belt was on the line for Maurice
Literally
Gesto?
The prior fight, the last fight before that.
He was fighting for the WBA World, not the WBA Super World. So let me tell you how that happened. It happened the same way that Vasily Lomachenko got the WBC franchise belt, by petitioning for it. So how can it not be a belt because Vasily Lomachenko petitioned for it, for the WBC franchise, but it be a belt when Vasily Lomachenko petitioned for it for the WBA?
Yeah,
you guys are bleeding hypocrites.
The difference of 8 years is a primary. Like, I didn't even know the belt existed prior to all this.
8 years, and you can go through almost every time that belt comes up. The WBA Super, it operates very similarly to the WBC belt. But one thing that I do want to explain to a young man that's got a brain in his head. And do you know how you have different states in the United States.
Yep.
Does the state of Illinois get to name the governor, recognize the governor of Indiana?
No. That would be
Does the state of Miami, of Florida, have the right to recognize or not recognize the governor of California?
no.
So it is with the sanctioning bodies. The WBA has no right whatsoever to recognize or not recognize any other champion.
We could also go even further than that with promotional companies. Like Showtime doesn't recognize Teofimo or Kambosos as undisputed ever. But that's because that's not their fighters. They have no obligation to even.
I'm sorry. Who said that? Who doesn't recognize them?
Showtime.
Showtime doesn't have the ability to recognize any champions. They don't get a vote. That's the same. See, that's another part of it. You do not have. First of all, Showtime is a distribution network. They are just televising it. They don't have the right to recognize or not recognize. They're not a promoter. That's it. If they choose not to write it on their graphics, that's up to them. But that doesn't legitimize or make illegitimate the champion of any sanctioning body.
Exactly.
They don't have the idea that somehow you can point out to somebody that didn't put them on a list on Twitter or on Wikipedia or on ESPN. That is just the worst. That's like you're trying to write a PhD dissertation and you're making quotes on Wikipedia. Wikipedia is not a recognized source for the information. They don't have the right to do that. Anyway, thank you, Redhead. Let me move down to the next guy, man. I appreciate you, bro. And come back anytime, man. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. LC, dang man, I like it. And it's not a fact. Somebody help me out. I need to know the facts. The fact is that Teofimo Lopez was the WBC champion. He was the WBA champion. He was the IBF champion, and he was the WBO champion. The other fact is that there is no sanctioning body. There is no body above those sanctioning bodies. And there is no official major championship. That is just some consensus that's out there in the media as to what a major championship belt is to begin with. That's why we don't even know on any firm date when did it become 2? When did it become 3? When did it become 4? When did it become 5? There's 5. Why is the IBO not a major championship belt? Who gets to determine that? Who gets to determine that? There is nobody that gets to determine that. That's just some stuff we're talking about, and we just refer to it as. And if you put out enough stuff in the media, people start believing that it's true. There is no organization that names an undisputed champion. There isn't. There's 5 champion sanctioning bodies that are licensed to put on fights throughout the world that we typically recognize. At first, it was the NBA. Then it went from the NBA to the WBA. Then it went from the WBA to the WBA and the WBC in the early 60s. After that, it became the WBA, the WBC, and the IBF in the 80s. And after that, it became the WBA, the WBC, the IBF, and the WBO way into the early 2000s. And the WBO was only recognized by the media. It's not recognized by some other sanctioning body. If it's the sanctioning bodies that have to recognize you as a champion, shouldn't it be the other sanctioning bodies that have to recognize you as a major championship organization? But they don't. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. Upper echelon, how can I help you, brother?
How you doing today, Mark?
I'm well, man. I'm about to throw my hey, man, thank you to everybody that supports on Super Chat Thursday. Thank you very much. It is how we're able to continue the channel. So thank you guys very, very much. What's going on, Upper Echelon?
I just want to clear up a couple things that the dude before Redhead said. If you go back and look at the Devin versus Kambosos fight, ESPN put a list of undisputed champions. Teofimo was number 6 or 7, and then after him was George Kambosos. ESPN always recognized Teofimo and George Kambosos as undisputed, so he was wrong about that. Talking about ESPN didn't. You can go back and watch the Devin Haney and Kambosos first fight, and it's a whole list sitting right there. Secondly, when Lomachenko was 10-0, he was actually 1-1. And they tried to erase his loss because he lost the second fight to Orlando Salido. They kept trying to make him 10-0-1, and then people brought credence to it, talking about nah, he lost this second fight, and they kept trying to make him 0-1, but then they finally put the 1 right there.
And just so you know, his official record has 6 more fights on it than is listed on BoxRec. Just so everybody knows this.
Exactly.
He has those fights from the World Series of Boxing, which according to Fight Facts, which is the official record keeper in the United States of professional fights, are on his record. Yep. BoxRec is not even the official record keeper of records. They're not official. That is a commercial site. No different than now that it's very good, but it's still, that's what it is. Go continue though.
Yeah, but they was trying to keep him undefeated, but he had lost his second professional fight, honestly, to Orlando Salido. And that's why people was complaining, because they was trying to put him above Terence Crawford, but he had a loss already, but they kept trying to take his loss away on air, making him 10-0-1. But yeah, he was 1-1. But yeah, it's funny how people like to push, and when it's their fighter, they like to say this and that right there. But it has been recognized that Tio was undisputed and Kambosos. It was on ESPN, and he said it wasn't. So anybody that has a problem with that, they can go back and look at the Kambosos versus Haney fight. ESPN got the list right there. They got Teofimo, they got George Kambosos, and Devin became undisputed after that. So I mean, you know, you want to use ESPN, that's what ESPN said. But I digress. I'll come back on later. I was just coming to fix his facts that he sat there and lied about.
All right, man. Thank you. Please, brother. It's hard for me to even get there, because I know how it works. ESPN does not have a say at all. ESPN is a sports network, man. Dude, what's his name? Stephen A. Smith? Stephen A. Smith doesn't get to name the NBA champion. Stephen A. Smith doesn't get to recognize who the MVP of the NFL is. They don't get to recognize it. They get to report it. That's it. That's all they get. Hey, it was painful to listen to a guy who called you a liar. His whole argument didn't make any sense. Kids are on Christmas break in full effect. That dude was working with his fat ass. And I'm fat, so I can tell you he's fat ass. I saw him. Oh, you're just a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar. Man, whatever, bro. Mauricio, boxing scene. You're reporting what boxing has to say. But you're going to report what ESPN has to say. Got you. Hey, Aisha, thank you for the $5 holler. Thank you for the support. I said for Cash App Thursday. Thank you. Yeah, he's a fat ass. Cortez Bowles, I need to see your face real quick before I let you on. All right, that's good enough. Thank you, sir. Cortez Bowles. How can I help?
Cortez. That's how you pronounce it. Cortez.
Sorry about that. Cortez. How can I help?
Okay. I do remember at one time that Mauricio Suleiman said that the franchise championship was non-transferable. If you have a championship belt that's non-transferable and you get beat, how does that make the person that beat you? You get beat by the person, and the belt wasn't supposed to rotate. Well, because I believe he got beat by another ESPN fighter, the narrative was pushed. Because once Devin Haney beat him and he wasn't an ESPN fighter, he was an ESPN fighter that was leaving soon, that the belt kind of mysteriously just kind of disappeared. So if there was a belt that had to be petitioned for, because we all seen Mauricio Suleiman say that Lomachenko petitioned for the franchise championship belt. There was a belt that you had to petition for, and it was a status, and it was a trophy, and it wasn't the belt that would make you undisputed until it seems like that they just made up the story as long as it went to fit their brand and their mold. This is where everybody's having a problem with that at. They have a problem with that because first it's non-transferable. Then he gets beat by Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez is with the gang. Then he gets beat by Camboso. Camboso is going to parade it up and live it up like that too. Then he get beat by Haney, and then the belt just kind of like mysteriously kind of like disappeared. Who's the franchise champion right now?
I'm not going to answer that question, brother. I'm going to get back to something that is just going to end all of that. Whose decision is it? Who the WBC champion is and the rules of the WBC? Whose decision is it?
It's the WBC's, but where's the logic in it? If I beat you for a belt,
I don't care about their logic because it's their decision.
Okay, it would be common logic. Fannin,
No,
I know that you. I know that you are above.
Cortez,
I know that you are above average.
Cortez, I did not cut you off. Stop cutting me off. I did not cut you off. It's not your decision. It is the Mauricio Suleiman's decision. Period. That's whose decision it is. It's the WBC's. And that is the decision that the WBC made. And you don't have to like it. You don't have to understand it. You don't have to like it. It's their decision. Just like it's not your decision or my decision if they create a Bridgerweight. Because they did on their own. And they don't have to ask anybody. If Mauricio Suleiman says, we have created a designation named the franchise champion, and then he says that fight, that is non-transferable, you have to petition for it. But if you petition for it, we give it to you, you are our champion. Do you know what other sanctioning body does the exact same thing, Cortez? The WBA. Vasily Lomachenko did not fight the WBA super champion. Do you know that? Do you know that he did not win that WBA super championship in the ring that he held?
Who was that?
Vasily Lomachenko did not win that in the ring. He got given that.
Okay.
When he fought Jorge Linares. Jorge Linares was what they called the WBA regular champ. Jorge Linares was never held the belt that Devin Haney holds. And nobody held that belt between 2010 and 2018 until Vasily Lomachenko petitioned for it. So how can the WBA do it and the WBC can't do it? The answer is they can do it because it's their belts. That's the answer to your question. I don't have to justify their decision. All I need to tell you is it's their decision. And it is their decision. Mauricio Suleiman is the one that named Devin the world champion. Did you know that? Did you know that Devin Haney did not?
Yeah, I knew that. I knew that because.
Did you know that Devin Haney had to petition for that? Did you know Devin petitioned to be the
what you saying? Could you please show that to us?
What, did he petition for it?
I mean, yeah, it would help for everybody to gain.
I'm not going to go through that because it's not necessary.
But it's kind of it seems kind of crazy that you will go through above and beyond to defend what you're saying, but then not to disprove what we asking us. We the fans and we tune into you to get information, and we asking you for the information. Could you show us where the petition was from Devin?
You want me to go through Devin Haney asked? Man, I don't feel like doing all of this.
Because it seems kind of crazy because Jamel didn't know, was it Jamal or one of the Charlo brothers? They didn't even know that they was given the belt. They had a press conference and they found out about the belt. So it seems like if you had to petition for a belt to be given to you, that it would have to be, he would have some kind of knowledge of it.
Cortez, it doesn't matter. It's the WBC's decision. Period.
I I understand that.
So as
But
far as we're talking about
if you have, listen again,
it doesn't matter. It is the WBC's decision who their champion is. They name the process, period. You don't get a vote.
but with the naked eye, you can look and see that the process is flawed. If you have a belt that's awarded to you and it's supposed to be a status and it's not a real transferable championship belt, it's like a sticker. It was something other than something that
so.
He didn't win. Listen, he didn't win. Listen, he didn't win. He didn't even win the belt in the ring either. He just got awarded the belt. He just got a gift box in the Cheerios.
Lomachenko won that WBC world title in the ring. Devin didn't. Lomachenko won the WBC world title in the ring. And then was elevated. Devin didn't win that belt in the ring.
Okay, he didn't win the belt in the ring.
Let's get back to the major point.
But he got awarded a belt that was non-transferable, and the first time he lost the fight, the belt transferred.
Obviously,
that's what we saying. That don't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
It makes perfect sense to you. It makes perfect sense to you. You just don't agree.
Because it's cold. It's cold fuckery, man. It was fuckery at its finest. Like how you gonna have a belt?
Do you have a decision in this matter? Does your opinion matter?
Shit, that's just like the government. The government, goddamn it, fuck us around all the time.
And it's not your choice.
But we know right from wrong.
You don't get a vote.
We right. We don't get a vote, but we can see clearly what is right and what's wrong.
I don't care about right or wrong. It's their decision. It's their decision. That's why Teofimo Lopez was the champion, because they said so. It's their decision. They're the one that gets to name the champion. That's the rules. Period. It ends right there, Cortez. I'm sorry you don't like the rules, but those are the rules. What do you want me to say? Oh, I don't like it. I don't care if you like it, because it's irrelevant whether you like it or not.
Okay. So when Devin Haney when Devin Haney threw the belt away, the franchise belt away, was he no longer the champion anymore?
He didn't throw it away.
So what did he do with it?
He never had it.
So he was never so Devin Haney was never undisputed then.
No, he was.
How the hell was he undisputed if the belt that made him undisputed was the franchise champion belt and he didn't take the franchise belt?
Because
you see where where this is going?
No, I see it. Yes, I do. It's going to come back to the same answer because the WBC said so. Because the WBC said so.
Man, I'm sorry. I can't beat a sheep like that, man. I can't beat a sheep.
It's not your decision. It's not your choice.
So first the franchise belt. Wait, first the franchise belt determined. The franchise
not your
choice. The franchise belt determined. Hold on. Did the franchise belt determine who was did the franchise belt determine who was undisputed? So if the franchise belt determined who was undisputed and Devin Haney refused the franchise belt, then how was he undisputed?
Because
that's all I'm saying.
Because the WBC said you are our champion. That's why. And he held the other 3 belts. Do you realize? Guess who becomes undisputed if he wins the IBF, the WBC, and the WBO? If Gervonta Davis wins the IBF, the WBO, and the WBC, do you know what Gervonta Davis is with that WBA regular champion? Do you know what he is?
What?
Undisputed.
With a regular championship belt.
With the WBC World Championship. Yes. He does.
Yeah, it's too
Do you know why that is? Do you know why that is? It's not confusing.
Because they say so. Because they say, come on, man. We know that Mauricio Suleiman is crooked as hell, man.
Sir, you have the WBA super title. If the WBA super title is there, then that is their major championship belt. If the WBA super belt is not there, then the WBA World Championship becomes the undisputed their major championship belt. Can you tell me? And if you can't tell me, I'll tell you what belt Muhammad Ali held. Or excuse me, what belt Mike Tyson held when he became the undisputed champion? Do you know?
Well, I believe was it the IBF
To become undisputed.
I don't remember. I was young back then. I was probably about
no
11.
fair. No worries. Let me go back and I'm going to read them for you. He held the IBF, the WBA World, not the WBA Super, the WBA World, and the WBC World. He did not hold the WBA Super title. Can you any guess why that would be?
I'm listening.
You don't have a guess why that would be?
Oh, I'm listening. I'm here to learn
Because
today.
Because it wasn't in existence. The WBA created it so that fighters would not get stripped because they don't have to fight mandatories. The WBA created it just like the WBC created the franchise belt for the same reason. Yeah. And do you know that when Francisco, I'm sorry, what was his name? Corrales. What was Gerzel Corrales? Have you ever heard of Gerzel Corrales?
All of those Corraleses and Moraleses and Marquez sound familiar.
Okay, so there was a fighter that held the 130-pound WBA Super Championship. His name is Gerzel Corrales. He fought a guy and lost on the scale to a guy and lost in the ring to a fighter that goes by the name of Alberto Machado just a few years ago. Gervonta Machado, when Machado beat Gerzel Corrales, guess what belt he won? By beating the WBA Super Champion. Guess what belt he won? The WBA regular. They didn't put the WBA on the line. The WBA Super on the line for Machado. They took it off. And everybody was confused. Hold on, how can Gervonta be the WBA Super Champion when Machado beat the last WBA Super Champion? Because you got a petition to get it. That's why. And it has to be approved for you to fight for it. Same thing with the WBC franchise belt. Same thing. And you know why it all comes around to? Because the WBA said so. If the WBA can say so, so can the WBC. The IBF just named Jaron Ennis an IBF champion without ever getting in the ring to fight for it. You think that's fair?
No, I believe it should have been at least a fight between him and somebody else to determine who was going to be the champion.
Right. Who's the champion, though, right now?
Boots is.
Why is he?
Because they elected to do so.
Because the IBF said so. So, sir, all of this is consistent. All of it. You may not like it, but it's all consistent. Everything that you can point to related to Teofimo Lopez, Lomachenko, and that franchise belt, I can point to with the WBA and the IBF and the WBA.
But the thing that bewilders me is Mauricio Suleiman said the belt was non-transferable, but we talking about undisputed. I don't understand how you get the undisputed title when the belt that you got, nobody can take it from you. I don't get that part.
The same way that the WBA did it. You get that part.
Yeah, man, it's hypocrisy and fuckery at its finest, man. I guess I can say that's all I can say.
You can call it hypocrisy. You can call
because
it
because ESPN they're the only in Top Rank. They're the only ones that acknowledge that because that's their brand that they're pushing and they're promoting. But
No,
everybody else from all the other governing body sanctioned belts, they shunned that. They didn't acknowledge that. They know that. What do you remember how silly? Wait, do you remember how silly? Do you remember how silly Teofimo Lopez was looking when he put his belts up against Canelo's belts, and Canelo was looking at him like, "Man, you on some cold bullshit." How could we not see that? Go back and look at that picture and look at the disgust in Canelo's face, looking at Teofimo Lopez trying to claim to be. He tried to steal Canelo's moment.
Let me once again just summarize all you said. You don't like it. You don't get a vote.
I know I don't get a vote, but I'm just saying outside of Top Rank, that only exists outside. It only exists. That logic that you're saying, it only exists within ESPN and Top Rank. When you go outside the realm of ESPN and Top Rank, what you saying don't make no sense.
No, what you're saying is not true.
How?
What you're saying is because the ESPN doesn't get a vote. The IBF does not get a vote as to who.
I know they don't get a vote, but it's the promotion. It's the promotion. They sell it. They're selling the product. They selling the idea. What they doing is they selling the idea to weak-minded people that will buy that shit.
You're just crying about it. That's all you're doing. You're just
Hey, dude, I ain't cried in over about 30 years, man.
No, you've cried in 30 years. If you haven't, there's something wrong with you. Okay? There's nothing, but I'm telling you very, very, very clearly. You don't like it, that doesn't change it. Suck it up and live with it. That's the WBC's decision. It's not ESPN's decision. The IBF does not have any say-so at all in whether or not Jaron Ennis is the IBF champion. None. The WBC does not have any say-so whatsoever as to whether or not Jaron Ennis is a world champion because you don't like it. And they never said we don't recognize him as a champion.
Yeah, man, but I listen. What's not gonna fly past the thing is it's egg in Mauricio Suleiman's face.
I gotta let you go, bro. You just everything you're saying just winds up with you don't like a decision that is not your decision.
It's not about not liking it. It's about looking at it and seeing that it's not right. I'm a champion. I can't lose this belt, but the first time I lose this belt, then the person is undisputed.
Nobody said you can't lose the belt.
Mauricio Suleiman said it. Go look that up.
Nobody said.
Mauricio Suleiman did say that the vote was non-transferable.
Excuse me, sir. That doesn't mean that you can't lose it.
Then how else is you supposed to lose the belt if it's not transferable?
If you would have lost,
Fannin, it's been good. It's been good.
Oh, listen, Jesus, listen.
Jesus ain't got nothing to do with this, man. Listen. No,
I explained how you can lose it. You can lose it by losing the fight. And therefore, you are no longer the WBC franchise belt.
But that's not what Mauricio Suleiman said.
Goodbye. You're purposely not trying to understand. So goodbye. How can I help you, Hunter Young?
What's going on, Fanon? A couple of things. This whole Teofimo, Devin Haney, undisputed thing. I mean, okay. If you follow just common logic, Loma had the belt. Teo beat him. Loma was a champ. I don't care what belt he had. Teo beat him, undisputed. Bottom line, that's how I've always seen it. I don't care. I don't get caught in the politics of who had what belt doing what time. Loma was a champ. He didn't lose the belt in the ring. He didn't get stripped. Whatever they did with him, he lost. So you'll go to the next man. That was Teo. That's how I see it. I mean, I know it's more political than that, but that's how I see it. And the whole thing with Boots and IBF, I think the IBF was being proactive with Boots because he fought that eliminator. And what I hear a lot of people saying, well, he didn't fight for the belt, so why didn't he fight somebody else for the belt after somebody else for that vacant title? And I'm like, they proactively did it because that's why they had the eliminator. They just did it beforehand and not after the belt was taken. So, but I honestly think if people would just look at this whole Teo belt thing and logically and just strip away what you know about the politics behind the belts and just say, okay, well, who was the champ? Who beat the champ? He's the next champ. And
it goes right to George Kambosos and then
right.
Who was the WBC champ? It was Mikey Garcia. He vacated the belt. Who won the vacant belt? Lomachenko. Who beat Lomachenko? Teofimo. Who beat Teofimo? George Kambosos. Who beat George Kambosos? Devin Haney.
Right, and that's how I see it. I can't. My mom won't let me keep up with all that franchise super. Or I can't do that. My mom,
man,
my mom
but it's crazy. But to me, Hunter, it's like this. It's like this is childish. We live in a world where you have to abide by the rules of the people that make the rules. And you can argue all day about not liking it, but it doesn't change it. You can get mad about whether or not how Florida counted their votes in an election. Guess who won the election? George Bush won the election. You can cry for the next 35 years. Al Gore was not the president. Sorry to break it to you. If the Supreme Court strikes down Roe v. Wade, guess whose decision that was? That was the Supreme Court's decision. You don't have to like it. Every decision that there is, somebody's going to like, somebody's not going to like. Grow the fuck up. And when you have rules, you know what the rules are. It is what it is. If somebody says Terence Crawford has tape on his hands and he stacks his gloves, but it's legal in Nevada, and they say you can do it, guess what? You can do it. It is what it is at a certain point in time, man. But give people the credit for the things that they do. And naming and having Teofimo Lopez being the WBC, the IBF, the WBA, and the WBO champion all at the same time, everybody else that has ever been in that circumstance was considered undisputed. Teofimo Lopez is the only person that can win the major belt that is determined by that sanctioning body and not be that. He is the only outlier in boxing. You can be undisputed without the WBA super. You absolutely can be that. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I got one more thing. I got a crazy idea.
Yes.
Because I like Boots. I think Boots should go to 154. I honestly think so. Because I'm saying if you really want to make, well, they still probably wouldn't fight him, but if he really want to make a splash and become a star, he needs to beat Spence and Bud to 154. He should fight like a top 10 guy in 154. And if he beats him, then he can be like, all right, well, the way Jamel's going, ain't no telling what's going to happen with that cat. But honestly, I don't know. Do you think that's a good idea, bad idea, or you like whatever?
I mean, I'll take it either way it goes. I personally think his best option is to stay at 147 as long as he can, because first of all, he's not going to get the Bud fight, and I don't know if he's going to get the Arrow fight. But if he stays at 154, 147 and collects belts long enough, he's going to get Teo. He's going to get Devin. Yeah. He's going to get, I don't think Ryan may not be out there by that time, but he's going to get at least those two.
Hold on. What about Rolly? What about my man Rolly?
Oh, I mean, he could get Rolly going to die an early death in there, but at least those two, at least Devin and Teofimo Lopez, I think that's enough. Those guys can't stay at 140. Devin's not going to be able to stay at 147 long. So I think that if he becomes, and I think most of those belts are going to be in the PBC. So, or I think he's going to go to Prime. At least I think. I mean, I would say stay in the weight class that you're in. He hasn't even had a belt. He hasn't even had a fight as a champion yet to be moving up.
And that's what I'm saying, because I don't know what's going, because people saying, well, he doesn't want to fight anybody, or he's pricing himself out, or
who is that?
Boots talking about he's pricing himself out.
Man, look, these are the same fucking. These are the same phones. I'll finish your sentence, man.
No, I'm saying, but he's not fighting anybody. Like, well, how are you going to fight when no one's signing the contract to fight you, and they're saying, well, they're not offering enough money for me to fight. He's a champ. They praise somebody like, well, first they praise Floyd for taking that bum deal with Oscar. Then they quote unquote, praise Dev for taking that garbage supposed to be contract for Kambosos. So you mean to tell me all that's good for those guys to fight Oscar or Kambosos, but to fight Boots, you don't take less money? That's what I don't like about.
Here's the thing, man. Just about Boots. Jaron Ennis is he is a de facto PBC fighter. So he's getting the PBC treatment because he fought on Showtime. If Jaron Ennis was represented by was represented by Bob Arum, and these same people, or if Bozy Ennis was paying money to YouTube channels to spread stupid shit on him, it would work. But they went after him because of that Terence Crawford stuff and claiming that these people just make shit up. They just make shit up. Gervonta, how in the world could Gervonta Ennis have fought anybody when this entire time, for the last 5 years, they've been consolidating belts in order to get the Terence Crawford Errol Spence fight? When exactly was Gervonta supposed to fight Terence Crawford? When exactly was he supposed to fight Errol Spence? When all of that was going on the entire time. And Gervonta Ennis really only broke into the scene last year, really. Last year, maybe the year before last, in the eyes of many boxing fans, as he really broke out on top, even though he's been around a long time. So I think just a lot of this stuff is just them preparing to hate on the kid. But I don't believe anything about him turning down a Terence Crawford fight. There was never a time when Terence Crawford was serious about fighting him. In some casual conversation between a YouTube channel and his father does not constitute a legitimate offer to fight. Errol Spence Jr. has never been in the position to fight Gervonta Ennis because Errol flat out said, the only person I'm fighting is Terence Crawford. So I don't even get any of that stuff about Gervonta Ennis. They're just the same fan base that supports Gervonta Davis and supports Errol Spence is getting behind Gervonta Ennis. So the same hating ass crew of people are out there saying the same thing about somebody that will more than likely be fighting on Amazon Prime, was fighting on Showtime, that they were saying was going out of business. It's obnoxious. The same subset of crew and a subset of the same people are the ones that won't give Teofimo Lopez any credit for what the man accomplished. Because the fact of the matter is, and I do like your point of view, even though it's not necessary for my argument, that who won the belt? Lomachenko won the belt. Who beat Lomachenko? Teofimo Lopez beat Lomachenko. Devin Haney, the only reason that Devin Haney was elevated was because of Lomachenko's petition. How you like that? I don't even feel like going to go say, let me see if I can find written down somewhere where Devin petitioned for this. How about I just say this? The only reason Devin got the WBC world title was because Lomachenko petitioned for the franchise belt. And he was petitioned as it with full understanding that he was going to be fighting for undisputed. Lomachenko knew he was fighting for undisputed. And if there was any question in Lomachenko's mind that he could not fight for undisputed if he had taken it, why would he have taken it? But at the end of the day, it's not your decision, Cortez. It's not your decision. It's not ESPN's decision. ESPN doesn't get to change records. They don't get to say, well, Lomachenko's undisputed. He's undefeated. If they don't get to change boxing records. They don't get to change championships. All right, let me roll through these things. Thank you, Hunter Young. I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Man, any and every time, brother. Thank you. Skills from Norris says, salute at the highest level. Salute to you, brother. Said that was painful to listen to that guy who called you a liar. The whole argument didn't make any sense. Kids, yeah, they're crazy, man. It's sickening. Hey, thank you for making my invoice morning easier with this boxing talk. Salute us to everybody. Yes, sir, Jorge. Thank you for making it easier to do this channel. Hey, what's going on, Marquis in the building? Thank you, brother. Let me give everybody their gongs, group gong. Sky's in the building. Thank you for joining as a YouTube member. Hey, John Boy said, hey, all. Stopping by before my appointment. God bless everyone. I got to go. Thank you, John Boy. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. And John Boy back at it. Oh, by the way, John Boy, you are newcomer of the year on this channel. Thank you, John Boy, for everything, man. Old man said, Fanon be cooking these morons fine. Fanon, please keep these lives going. 10 hours long. I can't. I got a boxing match. I got a basketball game to go to. Here's the link, though. Somebody else want to tell me about a decision being made by people that don't have a decision, don't have a voice. ESPN does not get to determine who the WBC champion is. But it's fuckery. Who got, and by the way, who even got fucked over? Who got fucked over? I don't even see how somebody got screwed in any of that. Who got messed over? Nobody. Hey, what's going on, Mr. Brimmer? Suleiman lied about everybody except Devin. Exactly. Suleiman lied about everything except Devin. He can name Devin the champion, but he can't make a belt. Man, please. Oh my God, you guys are crybabies. My God. Not you, T. Orlando, because I know you're not serious. Ramin. Loma never gave up his belts. He was elevated. Yes, he was elevated. I see you, Kyle. Hold on one second, man. Let me get through the support. Thank y'all so much for y'all's support. Mr. McKinney in the building. Big $25 holler, brother. Thank you, Sam, for support. Thank you, man. Thank you, sir. Devin Haney is one of the most God dog it most he is one of the most privileged fighters I have ever seen in my life. He is one of the most privileged fighters that I have ever seen in my entire life. You almost cannot find a fighter more privileged than Devin Haney has been. Devin Haney has literally got his way in almost everything he's ever wanted. And he is, oh my God, y'all still cry for him. They said Devin and Bill dropped the franchise. No, they never dropped it. He didn't get it. They didn't ask for it. So he never became it. They didn't drop it. He didn't drop the franchise belt. He never got it. They said they didn't want any part of it because they couldn't want a part of it because all that crying they did about it. Thank you for keeping your integrities and morals and logic. Yes, sir, Mr. Brimmer. Yes, sir. I will do that. Hold on one second. All right. What's going on, Mr. Shepard?
How you doing, brother?
Man, I can't complain, man. What's going on, man?
Yeah, I don't know how you keep your composure with all this frustrating rhetoric. I mean, it seems pretty elementary to me. And I think the motivation is really just the Devin Haney fans. I mean, this topic you've discussed thoroughly on numerous occasions. It's just bizarre, when we reward humans for things they do in the ring, boxers rather. You recognize that Lomachenko picked up the belt from Jorge Linares, the WBA. He picked up from Jose Pedraza, the WBO. Then he Then he fought Luke Campbell and picked up another belt. Lomachenko had 3 belts. His whole goal, he stated, was to become undisputed. He's made that very clear throughout that run. That was his intention. Bob Arum or Lomachenko, they were offered the franchise like Canelo. Lomachenko was under the impression that that was the superior belt, which the WBC stated is. It's a designation to allow them to unify. So Lomachenko said, all right, I'll take that. And what happened? The belt that he possessed, went to Devin Haney. So Devin Haney didn't fight for that belt. He was left it from Lomachenko because Lomachenko wanted the better belt, which was the franchise. So now people say Loma ducked Devin Haney. You already went through that with that other guy that Haney was the interim at one point, never the mandatory. You already went through that in depth. Point is, Lomachenko goes for a unification fight with Teofimo Lopez. Not even just unification, it's an undisputed fight. He fought Teofimo and lost. Teofimo took his 3 belts plus the one that Teo had, the IBF. Teo was undisputed. It's mind-blowing. Whether Loma's white, black, yellow, give the man the credit for having those 3 belts entering the fight. Same with Teo. He won. Now he has 4 belts, undisputed. Everyone choosing to say that Haney had the regular WBC belt or no, the franchise was superior. And then to speak on what you said, you can change the rules when it's your sanctioning body. Yes, it's cloudy. They said it's non-transferable. But ultimately, they decided that it is transferable because it wouldn't have been the right thing to do to allow that unification and not walk away undisputed. Just because other sanctioning bodies don't respect the WBC rules doesn't take away from the fact that it's their rule to make. They won. Teofimo's undisputed, and he was undisputed. And I don't see why anyone is taking that away from him other than wanting to award Devin Haney credit for that, for being the youngest undisputed. They feel like, let me discredit what Lopez did so it solidifies what Haney did. The reality is there were 3 undisputeds in a row. Lopez, Kambosos, Haney. And Haney did not take the franchise. I agree. He wanted to solidify his point of view that I was always the champion. I don't want that crap. But the reality is that crap was the superior belt as per the WBC. Who sets the rules? So this one point to me is what makes Haney fans so non-rational, non-logical. The fact that they can stand on this and try to say that Lopez was not undisputed, that is what to me really just is the icing on the cake of why Haney fans at times are just hard to bear with. And I respect everyone in this channel, everyone in the group who comments, but you guys are trying to omit the truth to prop up Haney. The reality is you're taking something away from a fighter who worked his whole life to earn that, and it's just not the right thing to do.
Watch this. I just did with these. I never wanted to do this, right?
What's that?
Because people keep saying, go to the internet and see that it wasn't undisputed. Watch this. Top Rank. Teofimo, this is Top Rank's page. Teofimo upsets Lomachenko to become undisputed lightweight champion.
We all saw the fight.
Watch this. CBS Sports. This CBS Sports. Teofimo Lopez upsets Vasily Lomachenko to claim undisputed. This is CBS Sports.
Yeah.
To claim undisputed. These are all people telling you that you don't see it anywhere on the internet. Bleacher Report. Teofimo Lopez. Let me do it real quick, and I'll let you go. Let me just do it.
Nah, that's cool.
Teofimo Lopez beats Vasily Lomachenko decision by the lightweight division to become undisputed champion at 23 years old. This is CBS Sport, the Bleacher Report. But Bad Left Hook says this is not for undisputed. That's one that says not. USA Today. Teofimo Lopez becomes undisputed lightweight champ by earning unanimous decision over Vasily Lomachenko. China Morning Sports. Teofimo Lopez defeats Vasily Lomachenko to become undisputed lightweight title. CBC. Teofimo Lopez upsets Vasily Lomachenko to become undisputed. Sky Sports. Vasily Lomachenko surprised. Let's see if Sky says it. Undisputed worldweight champion is now my motivation.
Yeah.
Teofimo Lopez aims to regain world titles from now that's not relevant. Fight News, which is another one in a very old boxing magazine. Lopez defeats Loma, is now undisputed. Boxing Daily. Vasily Lomachenko says Teofimo Lopez is undisputed.
And if you just apply logic,
I can go on and on with that.
I mean, we all watched Lomachenko collect 3 belts, and you're suggesting, people that are saying Lopez was not undisputed are suggesting that Loma took the franchise title to relinquish his status as champion. That's like what people are logically suggesting. When someone's ultimate goal is to become undisputed, he lost to Lopez. Everyone's holding on to the fact that the other sanctioning bodies aren't recognizing it. Who cares what they recognize?
But stop. They don't recognize anything.
It doesn't matter what they recognize. It's the WBC.
Matters. Bro, it matters. It matters because of this. They don't, because what they're saying is not true. The fact that they didn't recognize him, they don't recognize any champions because they don't have the authority to recognize any champions. They just don't have it.
You know how people will say, oh, there's never Teofimo or Kambosos' name on undisputed lists of 4 belt holders.
There's no undisputed lists.
That's what I'm saying. It's they're using that as like a talking point, but all you need to do is look at the WBC and see who they recognized. And you already have common sense to know that he had the other 3 sanctioning body belts. So what is your true agenda to discredit 2 fighters from becoming undisputed? Solely to give Devin Haney the only credit for accomplishing that. It's just mind-blowing to me. I mean, you could be a fan of someone, but how do you compromise your logic and your truth to just create a narrative? And it's not you, it's all these other channels that are pro someone that just keep spewing this propaganda. And people hold on to it because either they're a fan or they just want it talking. It's mind-blowing to me. Like, it is what it is. You recognize how it happened, how it transpired. What credibility do you have when you're discrediting these fighters just to build up Devin Haney? Devin Haney's a hell of a fighter. He was undisputed. He was the 3rd person to be undisputed at 135 of recently. It's just frustrating because I'm looking at the comments and these people are credible. They have a lot of boxing knowledge. I'm not the smartest pencil in the pack, but I see the timetable. And Lomachenko's made it clear he wants to fight for the belts. Why would he give one away? Why? To duck Devin Haney when at that time Teofimo Lopez had proven himself even more so, knocking out Richard Comey and then going to to undisputed match with Loma? It just doesn't make any sense. Haney wasn't a priority, and they're doing everything under the sun to discredit him. And I just wanted to hop on to speak on that because
appreciate you, brother.
It's crazy. But I'm going to continue to watch and, you keep cooking and just shedding light on the truth, man. That's really what it's about. People are so opinionated. We need somebody who can really just kind of like speak the truth. And that's why I tune in more lately to your channel because there's no agendas, No.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Not a problem, man. You enjoy the rest of your day, bro.
All right, Kyle, get back. Look, man. Said not cool to those who know Loma earned 3 belts in the ring, and Teo had 1, and Teo won, making him have 4 belts. Haney was left with the belt. Loma left behind. He was upgraded. Exactly, Kyle. Exactly. It's silly. Fight Game in the building says Super Chat Thursday. Thank you, brother. Hey, it's needed and appreciated. Dwayne Moore says, salute for 9. Even though I disagree with everything you say about Devin, you give everyone a chance to voice their opinion. Thank you for that piece. Yeah, man, I could do a better job. But if you start insulting me, man, I'm not trying to hear that stupid shit. You're a liar. Why the fuck I gotta lie to you? T. Orlando said, read the article from Bad Left Hook. Come on, no. Bad Left Hook is a fan page. And even if they did, so what? That's one person that said why he's not undisputed, because we don't like that belt. It's not your vote, bro. You don't get a vote. You just don't got a vote. You don't get a vote to say that the WBO is a major championship belt. Did we get a vote on that? No. Good shit, good conversation. Truth, let's go. I mean, man, look, man, y'all just need to stop doing that stuff, man. You guys you do too much for Devin. You do way too much for him. He doesn't need it. That doesn't even hurt him. And that's the crazy thing. How does it hurt Devin Haney for you to say that Teofimo Lopez was an undisputed champion? How in the world does that hurt Devin? You guys got that man's gonads on your, I'm telling you, please cut it out. That's on you, man. You hating on Devin by saying Teo's undisputed. How does it even hurt him? Think about it for a second. How does that even hurt him? It doesn't take away Devin's accomplishment at all. Devin gets the same accomplishment. He's undisputed. Nobody's saying Devin's not undisputed. Nobody said that. Nobody's saying he didn't beat George Kambosos. He did. He beat the man and beat the man and beat the man. It actually gives him more credit that he beat an undisputed champion. No, it doesn't take it away. He never had it. It doesn't take away anything. He never had it. You can't take away something somebody doesn't have. Doesn't take away something that he didn't have. You're stealing something from somebody that they did have and trying to give it to somebody else that didn't earn it. Anyway, here's a link. But you know what is funny to me? I don't even like, dude. I don't have a horse in this race. You guys just talk bad about him, bro, for no reason. Redhead is young, Boxing Prodigy. Just chill out. And by the way, Boxing, I like talking to you. Hold on, Boxing Prodigy, I thought you said some crazy shit to me, didn't you? Boxing Prodigy. Anyway, here's a link. All the unbiased casuals thought Loma won. Look, the fact of the matter is Lomachenko did not win that fight. That is Boxing Prodigy. Oh, yeah, throw him out. Nah, Boxing Prodigy, you said something real crazy to me, bro. I'm pretty sure you did. Pretty sure you did. Click the link. I'm pretty sure you did. I know that. I believe so. I believe that's MMA Prodigy. No, you had him confused with MMA Prodigy. Oh, that's what you mean? All right. All right, we'll let you go off of T. Orlando. T. Orlando was a great assist with a great assist. Look, man, I got called the Devin robbery of the year. I don't know, man. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Boxing Prodigy. It's all good, Boxing Prodigy 98. There's a guy that has MMA Prodigy in his name, and I'm always looking to fly on him because he's a disrespectful child, like Jonathan Jackson is. A disrespectful child. I don't know what's robbery of the year. I thought Colbert won that fight. Sit on that L. I'm going to tell you my knockout of the year is O'Shaquie Foster. That's knockout of the year. Easily knockout of the year is O'Shaquie Foster. No, I don't. Maxie Hughes, I got to go back and watch that fight. Oh, fair enough, Timothy Stoudemire. You know what it is. I wouldn't want to steal something from Devin. I wouldn't want to steal something from Lee Charles. They need to see your face before I let you up. Now I got to see it. Okay, I see you. And you're in a truck too. All right, Lee, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man? I had a question about this Terence Crawford and Spence rematch. Should it be at 154 or 147? What you think?
I think it would probably be best at 154, but whatever they agree to is fine with me.
Now, how does that work with the belts? Like, if they do fight at the 154?
Then there are no belts on the line if they fight at 154.
Okay, they'll just be. All right. Thank you, man.
All right, brother. No worries, man. Fanon, your beard is growing nice. Any plans of keeping this time? Maybe a little bit for a while. For a while. As I lose weight, man, I'm trying to become devilishly handsome, man. I want to be handsome again. So I think I may keep the beard. And plus, I think I'm going to get I think my neck is doing some old thing. So I'm probably going to keep it, man. I just wish it was white. If it could be white, I want that. Now I'm going to tell you why the knockout of the year. Let me tell you why I got the knockout. O'Shaquie Foster needed it. Because O'Shaquie Foster needed it. Also, if I shave it, my clef is coming in. When I get rid of all this weight, my clef is coming in. I see you, William Old School, Aren't. White is right. Black, get back. What's up, William Old School?
What's happening?
Chilling, brother. What's that? What's happening?
I gave up on the handsomely good looks a long time ago, bro.
I'm working to get them back, man. I'm working hard to get them back. I don't think they're going to come, though. I don't think I'm going to make it. But
Rivalry of the year has to go to Rolly and Ishmael Barroso.
Oh, yeah, it was terrible. Yeah, that was terrible.
Bro, I'm sitting there watching that old dude beat the holy hell out of Rolly, and they stopped the fight.
Oh, man, that was hilarious.
I could not believe they did that shit. I was like, whose pocket is this referee in?
Go Rolly.
You know?
Yes.
I gotta ask a question. Why is it when I tried a little bit ago to look up full belt champions, Devin's the only one listed?
Listed in what? Lightweights or four belt champions, period?
Full belt champions, period. There was no Teofimo. I didn't see Teofimo, nor did I see Loma. All I saw was Devin.
At lightweight.
Huh?
At lightweight?
I guess 135.
I mean, I don't know. I don't care either because he was a four belt champion. I don't know.
That's why I was saying what I was saying in the chat because I looked it up immediately when y'all were talking about it, and that's what popped up.
Man, let me tell you what I don't do. I know full well that you can look up in Google and you see a lot of stuff on Google that ain't right. I know for a fact that Devin Haney was the that Teofimo Lopez was the WBA champion, that he was the WBC champion, that he's the IBF champion, and that he was the WBC franchise champion. If some website doesn't want to list the WBC franchise belt, it doesn't make a difference because they don't get a vote. The WBC is the only one with a vote. So when you see them, I can show a bunch of news articles where they said they were fighting for undisputed. Teofimo won the fight. So I don't know how Teofimo Lopez wouldn't be undisputed.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I didn't get it back then. I still don't get it.
Well, I just think that what you have a lot of people that complained about it because they didn't like the franchise belt. I think there's a lot of media people that didn't like the franchise belt. So they didn't want the franchise belt because, quite honestly, the franchise belt, I think, is bad for boxing. Just like the WBA super belt is bad for boxing.
It was put in place to duck mandatories. Of course, it's a terrible freaking belt.
Yeah, it is a terrible belt, but so is the WBA super. They don't have mandatories either.
Unbelievable.
And then you have the WBO super belt, which allows you to skip in line into a weight class that you've never been in. I mean, we don't have to like the decisions that are made. You know, we don't have to like it. Like I don't like the IRS. I wish there was no IRS. I wish you paid tax only to the states. But guess what? Try not paying your IRS bill.
Look, boxing is like the banana in the tailpipe that just keeps giving, dude.
Yep, exactly, man. I'm with you 100%.
All right, man, that's all I wanted to say.
All right, man. You take care, sir. Peace.
You too.
You fear me, Fanon. You got to show your face before I can put you on. I think you fear me. because you're not going to show your face. I think you fear me. Yeah, you proved it. You fear me. That ended that one. That ended that. You fear me. King, how can I help you?
Hey, good morning, man.
Good morning.
Hey, I wanted to talk about the video that you made about Top Rank and Rick Glazer. If you have a second.
I'm here.
So, in one breath, you say that Rick Glazer is not a credible source, but you also
I say it in
that
every breath.
But you also say that Rick said that the Top Rank being sold is highly likely, and then you're going to debunk what he said, but you also won't count it out, right? That's what you said in the video yesterday.
Excuse me, sir.
Let's talk about that.
Your lack of comprehension. The problem here I see is you have a lack of comprehension.
I'm quoting you word to word. I have it written down.
No, you've not quoted me word for word. Hell no. It's an 8-minute video. That's a piece of paper. You're not quoting me word for word. I'll be very clear about what I said. I said that what he said is stupid. That's what I said. Because he said that the early state, it's the deals, he implied that the deal was almost done because they're in the due diligence phase.
They're in the final stages of due diligence, not at the end of the deal.
Excuse me, sir. The final stages of due diligence is the very beginning of the process.
Yes, that's correct.
Then shut your dumb ass up. Now,
that's
second,
what he meant.
I don't give a shit what he meant. I know what he said. I know what he wrote.
You can look up his tweet.
I'm done. Shut up. The next I said, he's not reputable at all. Don't believe it because he said it. Very clear. What I also said is, what is the likelihood that a man that is 93 years old could be retiring? Highly likely. I said, what is the likelihood that Dana White would be getting into boxing? I said, that's stupid. Didn't I?
You did say that, but it will still be known as Top Rank Boxing.
No.
Dana White will be in the background.
Dana White is not, excuse me. Dana White is not Ari Emanuel.
He's not, no.
So therefore, he ain't running shit. Ari Emanuel is. He works for Ari. Shut up. He works for Ari Emanuel. Who is the president? Who's the guy that runs the WWE or F, whichever one it was? What's his name? Isn't it Khan or something like that? What is that guy's name that runs that?
I don't know his name.
What's the name? Let me see. Who runs the WWE?
Vince McMahon.
Who is the guy that runs it now? WWF then. Maybe it's the WWF.
It's WWE.
Who owns the Vince McMahon which is the one that is owned by Ari Emanuel? Tony Khan. Thank you very much. That's the guy I was looking for. Tony Khan. Tony Khan does not work for Dana White. He works for Ari Emanuel. So why would if Ari Emanuel buys the Top Rank, why would Dana White be getting into boxing? Dana White does not own William Morris Endeavor.
I can tell you why.
He is owned by William Morris Endeavor.
It'll still all be the same. Dana White.
No, it will not be. It will be a parent company owning 3 separate companies. Just like Paramount owns Showtime, they also own CBS and they own something else. CBS does not run MTV. CBS does not run just because Paramount owns MTV does not mean that CBS owns MTV. It was stupid. He doesn't understand an organizational chart. They're all 3 standalone entities. And then what I said was, why would they even buy it? Because the WWE and the WWF or whichever it is, their professional wrestling company is all self-contained, is what I said. I also said that UFC is all self-contained. They own all the matchups by buying those. Top Rank is not self-contained. Top Rank is not even in the same model as the WWE, as their professional wrestling or their UFC. UFC fighters only fight UFC fighters. WWE or WWF fighters only fight WWE, WWF. That's all they fight. That's not the case with Top Rank. So unless Ari Emanuel wants to buy Golden Boy, the PBC, Top Rank, Matchroom, and Queensberry and Queensland Promotions, they wouldn't even be able to do the same thing. And their contracts would be trouble because all of those guys could leave. Because there's the Ali Act. There is no Ali Act in the UFC. There is no Ali Act in the WWE.
But
So
Top
are you
Rank
sure you actually
has its own
listened?
entity.
Are you sure that you actually listened to what I said? Because I ridiculed damn near everything that man said.
I have everything written down.
You don't understand it.
You said Rick Glazer is with Golden Boy now, so now he's attacking PBC and Top Rank. Did you say that? Yes or no?
Yes, I did.
Do you know that he did business with Top Rank in less than 3 weeks ago?
No, I didn't.
Well, I'm telling you that. So that
I don't
means,
care either. He's
why
still
would
attacking Top Rank.
why would he attack Top
Is he
Rank?
with
Top
Golden
Rank?
Boy? Is he with Golden Boy?
He works with Golden Boy as well. He has 47
There
clients.
you go. So, and did he attack Top Rank?
He has 47 clients.
Sir, did he attack Top Rank?
No. He
He
gave out
didn't by saying that they were going to sell the company,
he gave out information.
which
that
they quickly turned around and said was not true.
just because there's an NDA agreement with every contract. Fanan, you know this.
No, I
It's
know
a
what an NDA
non-disclosure
is.
agreement.
An NDA, excuse me,
Fanan.
you lying sack of shit.
Fanan.
The NDA is a non-disclosure
Fanan.
agreement, which means, a non-disclosure agreement would prevent them from denying it or confirming it. You're not allowed to disclose anything. So an NDA would keep them from denying it.
Depends on what type of NDA contract.
And don't tell me that you know about the NDA.
Fanan, what's the
Because
first
an
step?
NDA will prevent you from saying anything about that particular business arrangement. It's a non-disclosure, not a non-confirmation agreement. You wouldn't say anything about it. You wouldn't say where you damn sure wouldn't deny it. You damn sure wouldn't lie on it.
He was reporting news that he's heard from his
You don't
sources.
understand what I'm saying, dude. You're not
He's
very
been in
good.
boxing for 33 years.
So what?
He was one of the first guys to give out pay-per-view numbers starting in versus.
Get off. Go away. What's up, Lamar? I need to see your face. All right, I can see you. You can cover it up now.
What's up? What's up for now?
Chilling, man. What's going on with you, bro?
That was funny. Get away. But no, I had a question. For now, what's the difference between the WBC when they use the franchise as a designation and the WBA Super? Like, what's the main difference in those two, and do they act as the same?
The main difference?
Yes.
Is the name. Other than that, I don't see any.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Fanon, right? For the Devin Haney fans. So when the WBC said that Loma was the franchise champion, he has the top belt, right?
Yes.
And they consider what Tank has as the Reggie belt. So that would mean Devin Haney had a Reggie belt, quote unquote, because the WBC at that time said Loma was their franchise champion. Now, would it be okay if the WBC said, okay, we're going to change the name, we're going to call this the WBC Super? Would that make it easier for Devin fans if they would have changed the name and not called it the franchise? Would they be able to understand it at that respective point? Because when I look at it, to me, it seems obvious and the same, because Devin fans can say the Tank has a Reggie belt. They say that all the time. But although they say a Reggie belt, he has to have a mandatory. And the WA Super doesn't. But when it comes in terms of Devin, he realistically had a Reggie belt, and that's what it was. Now, when he beat Kambosos, he decided not to take the franchise, and they had no other choice but to, designate him as their champion. So it was without question. So they didn't have a choice, but they made their choice in saying that Loma was the top belt holder for the WBC. It's no difference from the WBA, as they say, Reggie in the Super. So I'm trying to understand, when that transpired and they still say Tank is not a champion, then at that point, prior to him getting undisputed, Devin wasn't really a champion. Am I missing something? Or
So who are you asking? Who is doing this?
Them Haney folks.
There you go. That's the answer. If it was Devin Haney, if it was Devin Haney that got that franchise belt, they'd be perfectly fine with it. It was Devin.
Yep, and that's all I really, because I know the difference. I was just trying to illustrate a point. Like,
no, it's just that it's Devin. It's just that it's Devin.
It's no.
Let me give you a couple. Let me give you a couple of other examples. It's just that it's Devin. That's it. If it was anybody other than Devin, if it was Devin that had a franchise belt that got elevated to the franchise belt, they would say it's just like the Super Belt, and they would actually have a very good argument. It'd be a good argument because Devin didn't have a mandatory for the WBA. It's just Devin. Just like Devin, when they said Gary Russell Jr., who did not call out Devin Haney, was ducking Devin Haney because Devin Haney called him out, even though Devin was at 135 and Gary's at 126. If Devin had been at 126 and Gary was at 135, there's no way they would have said it because Bill wouldn't have said it. Bill wouldn't have given them an argument. They believe anything that comes out of Bill Haney's mouth, even though Bill Haney himself knew full well and acknowledged that Teofimo Lopez was the undisputed champion. They knew it. They knew Teofimo Lopez was the undisputed champion. They just want to hold. They just don't want to give the man credit because they're a bunch of haters, and they call other people haters. Just like they say, they're like, "Oh, you always hate on Devin." Well, what am I doing to hate on Devin? I'm defending Teofimo Lopez. I'm not saying that Devin Haney's not an undisputed champion. All I'm saying is that Teofimo Lopez was one. How's that hating on Devin?
It's not.
If I say Gervonta Davis is a very good fighter, I like his resume. How is that hating on Devin? It's not. I don't have a problem with Devin Haney. If I say Devin, I don't believe that Devin Haney, that Subriel Matias asked for $4 million to fight Subriel Matias, because Subriel Matias is not managed by Peter Kahn. How's that hating on me on Devin? That's actually me protecting Subriel Matias from your duck accusations. If I say Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney wasn't the mandatory for Devin Haney, that Devin Haney was not the mandatory for Lomachenko, how in the world does that mean I'm hating on Devin? That's just me telling the truth and protecting and defending Lomachenko. If I say Lomachenko fought a unification fight with Teofimo Lopez, that's not ducking Devin. How is that hating on Devin? It's not. It's defending Lomachenko for more Devin Haney accusations. Devin Haney fans make more accusations against more fighters than any other boxer in the world. They got an accusation a day on somebody. They said they just put out stuff that said Keith Thurman ducked Devin Haney. Keith Thurman. How in the world do you get Keith Thurman ducked Devin Haney? And if I say, oh, no, Keith Thurman could not duck Devin because Devin's not even in his weight class, how could he duck him? No, well, he asked for the fight, and he got to do what he got to do. He know Devin going up there. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's good. So now the other thing is that I just question when it comes to Devin Haney is this notion that he's just out here fighting all the top, the best of the best. This particular notion. Now, I know you don't think that he is a cherry pick, but over the last 3 fights, I'll say they're very strategic, borderline picking from a cherry. The reason I say that is, like, just think about it. Like Lomachenko, well, even before Lomachenko, the Kambosos fight, wasn't really much to it. I mean, it was Kambosos. So Lomachenko was coming off of a bad loss. I mean, well, not a bad loss, but a close fight, which he didn't look that great. He was getting up in age. So it's not like he was fighting the 130 Lomachenko that was just dominating, stopping Rigondeaux and everything like that. Lomachenko at 135, it's not the same as 130.
Nah,
So
well,
it's
hold
not.
on, man. Let me do this on this one because I got to take a couple more callers and because I don't have a lot of time. I've got my son has a basketball game. But Lamar, look, man, Devin Haney, I do not believe cherry. Let me just address what you came with, okay? First, I do not think Lomachenko was a cherry pick by any stretch of the imagination. Lomachenko was a legitimate fight. I don't really think Regis Prograis is a cherry pick. I think it was an easier option than Shakur Stevenson, but I don't think he was a cherry because Regis Prograis is a world champion. I don't believe that. As far as this all the stuff that people say about Devin fighting all the best fighters, no. What they say is that Devin wants to fight all the best fighters, which brings us right back to all the calling out he's doing. So just because you called out Keith Thurman doesn't mean you fought him. Just because you called out Teofimo Lopez doesn't mean you fought him. Just because you called out Ryan Garcia doesn't mean you fought him. Just because you called out Saburo Matias doesn't mean you fought him. Just because you called out Gervonta Davis doesn't mean you fought him. Just because you called out Gary Russell Jr. doesn't mean you fought him. He calls out everybody. And then they blame everybody for ducking him after he calls them out. And then they point to the fact that he asks for all of these fights and says he's the one that's chasing them. But when you really look at it and you say, did he really chase Gervonta? Well, he was really never available for the fight when he said he wanted it. Did he really? He wanted Lomachenko, but was Lomachenko really avoiding him? Or was Lomachenko going for undisputed? Did Teofimo Lopez really avoid him? Or did Teofimo Lopez go for undisputed, then fight his mandatory? You know what I mean?
Right.
Did he really want to fight Shakur Stevenson, really? By giving him a low ball offer and then dropping all the belts and moving up? Did he really want it? See, they are all hedging everything, and I don't have a problem with them saying Devin wants it. And you giving credit for the fact that you believe that Devin wants it. But wanting it and doing it are two different things. We're back to this childish shit where you may not like the WBC rules, but guess what? You got to live by them because it's their rules. It just is what it is.
Would the IBF at 140 have been an option when he would decide to move up from 135? Could that have been a realistic option for Devin at 140?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because who's going to pay for it? The IBF belt is held by PBC. Because the IBF is Saburo Matias. Saburo Matias has fought all his fights on the PBC cards. Matchroom's not gonna overpay Devin Haney to fight Saburo Matias. Matchroom, his options, what I think his options were maybe Teofimo Lopez, because Teofimo Lopez would top rank, or Shakur Stevenson, or an option with Matchroom. I don't think it was a realistic option for him to get Rolly or for him to get Saburo Matias.
All right. That's all I had for now. Appreciate it.
Anytime, man. Thank you,
All
sir.
right. Yep.
Boxing Prodigy, he absolutely was worth more than 25%. He absolutely is worth more than 25%. I don't understand why you think he's not. I would love to hear that. I would love to hear that one. Frank Martin would have been worth 30% as the mandatory. So how is Devin not? To Orlando, man, are you like getting all your bad arguments out of the way so you don't have to do it at work? Man, let me tell you something, bro. You most definitely are you are most definitely a sissy, bro. Boxing Prodigy, you've clicked the link before. Click the link. It's right there. Who talks about pegging men, bro? Who makes that? Who has that thought come into their mind? Only reason I know what that is because of people like you saying it. What the fuck is that? Oh, these dudes. These dudes. Yeah, but that was the truth too. Who said that he turned down $8 million, bro? Look, man, anybody saying that stuff just, hey, dude, they're just Team Devin. That's all that is. That's Team Devin. And you got to take what Team Devin says with a grain of salt. I'm not buying any of that stuff. Not buying it. Not buying it. Not buying it. I got to see how far something is. Give me 1 second. There's a link, man. Somebody please explain that to me. There's a link right there. You're a liar. You're a liar. Mo Edwards, I need to see your face real quick. Okay, I see you. That's good enough. Thank you, sir. You can cover it up. You don't have to show it. I see you. You want to come on with your face? Do this. If you're good showing your... Okay. Mo Edwards, how can I help you?
What's going on, brother? I think I'm getting some feedback. Hang on 1 second.
Yes, sir.
It's like it's...
I can't hear it.
Okay, good. It's like it's echoing on my side. Okay, what was your question again? I'm sorry, sir.
Did I have a question?
No, I thought you were asking... You said you wanted somebody to explain that one issue for you.
I forget. Can somebody remind me? And you could answer the question? I can't remember what I said. Does somebody know a question that I just asked? It wouldn't be written down.
What's going on with the Charlo brother? The
25%. The 25% was what? Thank you very much, Bison Prodigy. Was how in the world is Shakur not worth 25%? That was the question.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. He's worth that and more, man.
Yeah, I mean he's worth at the very least 30% because that's in the rules. But what do you want to talk about? So because we don't have a disagreement on that, or any point that you want to make, Mo Edwards.
So what's going on with the Charlo brother? Did you have any information on that?
Well, I think Jamal Charlo is hopefully we'll hear about his fights. And Jermell Charlo went to jail on some. He got arrested. He didn't go to jail, but he got arrested on some personal stuff. So I don't really know. I don't think we're going to really know what's going on with any of the PBC fighters until to the beginning of next year. Maybe I would hope maybe by mid-January we'll know what these guys were going to do, what they're going to do.
What about the Crawford Spence rematch? What do you think?
That goes, all of that stuff is all PBC. So I don't think we're going to know anything until like maybe the middle late January about any of that stuff, because they're going to start putting their ads out. I'm sure they're working with Amazon Prime about how they're going to roll all that stuff out. So they're transitioning from one network to another.
All right, man. Love your show, brother.
Hey, man. Thank you, Mo. Get back with you, sir. Appreciate you, man. Peace. Yeah, he does look a little bit like Warwick Dunn, man. That was a smooth goatee, though. I like that white neck goatee. Mine doesn't get white like that. Mine is, I think I'm going to have salt and pepper for like forever. Shout out to Mo. Devin and Shakur would have done huge pay-per-views. Look, man, the fact is that he deserves more than 25% because the minimum per split is 30%. And they came with all these arguments about he needs to prove himself. Devin sacrificed. Now Shakur has to sacrifice. Like, man, you don't stop. You know? I mean, it's just you guys make arguments that are very hard for me to accept. Give me 1 second. Ray Davis don't want no smoke no more, man. Boxing hacker definitely don't want no smoke. He must have went to work. How stupid is not taking what you get if the fight was mandated at least 30%? It's silly. T. Orlando, he was not going to get, he didn't get 0% of nothing. Oh, by the way, dog, 25% of something is more than 0% of nothing. He got money. He got money. He got to fight. What do you mean? He got to fight, and my understanding is that he made more money than Devin Haney made in his last fight. Devin Haney's the one that gave up money, man. Devin got $1.5 million in his pay-per-views with Flizzizop. Let's see. Let's do the math. Let's do my back of the napkin math, which I suck at, but I'm still going to do it. So you get $45,000. Oh, I bet he didn't get any pay-per-view money. Oh, I bet you he didn't get any pay-per-view number. I bet he didn't get any pay-per-view. Let's see. 45,000 times 0.9 equals. Oh, no, that's some bad math. 45,000 times, what was it? $60? 60 equals 2 points. Oh, he didn't get any money. He got $1.5 million for that fight. Dude, he got one and the gate. You had a $1.7 million gate. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me do the gate. Dog, I don't think he made $1 million. I think he might have had to pay some money back, bro. I think he may have had to pay some money back. I think he may have had to $45,000 pay-per-views. He may have had to give some money back. Because that's only $2.7 million. Because the pay-per-view only did 2.7 and they paid $3 million. They paid $3 million in guarantees. Redhead got a wrench. I'm gonna have to de-wrench you. Don't turn into a savage, bro. Gotta chill out. Nah, you're tripping, Redhead. You're out of here, bro. Hold on now, Redhead. I ain't going. Did I give him a wrench? Redhead, I got to take that wrench from you. Got to take that wrench. Got to get snatched. That's to keep you from getting blocked. That's not, no. You out here blocking people. What's up, Ray?
I'm under the weather, man. I'm under the weather. That's why you haven't seen me.
All right, I'm about to say, no, don't duck the smoke, dog.
No, I ain't no smoke ducking. You know, I've been seeing these things go on here, things I don't agree with, but yet I understand. So I can't argue some of the points because I understand there's no side to any side as long as it has a side, right? So I don't argue certain things. Yeah, you ain't get that because see that went up a little bit. Yeah, think about it. It's like a circle, right?
Hell no.
Yes, it is.
No side to any side because there's a side.
Yes.
There's in order for it to be a side, there has to be at least two sides.
Exactly. But which side is the side?
Both of
There's
them
no
are the
side.
side.
Exactly. There's no side.
Oh,
There's
so you're
both of them.
saying there's not just one side because there's
Right.
a side.
There's no
In order
argument
for there to be a
because
side,
there's
there
no
has to
argument because there's points to be made on both sides. Is my point. I'm not going
what
to
I'm
go.
arguing is there is no side. There's just a fact.
Okay. Well, we can say
A
that. I mean,
ball has no sides.
okay. And guess what? That's a fact. And just like you see facts, I see facts on the other side.
Hey,
of
no
the
worries,
fence.
man.
But
What
it's
medicine
all
you on,
good.
brother?
What'd you say?
What medicine you on, brother?
I don't know. My wife. Listen, don't laugh. I don't know what happened the other day. I sent a text to one of my boys, telling him I was sick because I was on medication. Man, I didn't even know what was going on. He hit me up the next day. I was like, nah, man. I said, I don't even know why I did that. I was on some medicine. My wife gave me something. I don't know what it is. I told, Dayquil, NyQuil.
Oh, to get you a little drunk,
Yeah,
drunk.
man. Yeah. Had me on some. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, I ain't take it yet, so I was able to jump up. But yeah, yeah. I just want to say, with all due respect, man, it's a lot of good arguments. Yeah, I know you do.
I just want to say hey to you, man. That was all.
Yeah, I know that for now, and it's all good. Like I said, I respect everybody in the chat. I try to bring the truth to the table when I can. You know what I mean? Whether you agree or not, it's still
all
true.
good. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. I'll get back with you. I'll let you settle down. Thank you.
All right, man. You got it for now.
I appreciate you accepting the invite, brother.
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, and then my guy, Kyle Porter, said, Haney fans, thank God there was a war in Ukraine. That's the only reason Loma ain't fight Kambosos before Haney. Y'all should be thanking Loma that he decided to defend the country as opposed to fighting George. And that ain't no joke. Kyle Porter, I'm going to rinse you up as long as you're the actual Kyle Porter for sure. Give me 1 second. Hey, man, don't block him. Don't block Redhead now. Ray, hey, you had to take. You can't. Hey, look, man, Asante L. You can't start no use. I saw you starting some shit with Asante L. So I knew that was gonna be trouble for you, brother. Settle down. Take your lumps. Don't block him. Come back later and understand how that works. Let me go to my guy's channel. Nah, bro, that ain't Kyle. That ain't you, bro? You got to come up to the chat and let me know. Kyle, you got to come back to the chat because that's 20 days ago. Let me come up to the chat and let me know that's you. Kyle, you gotta let me know that's you. Actually, you know what? I know what I can do. I just go to the Cash App one if it's still there. Yeah, it's not there for me. I can't see it. I can't see the Cash App. Kyle, give me real quick before I jump off, man. Let me verify it's you because that's only 20 days. Can you read my super chat? I got you, brother. I just did. Kyle, I'll get you next time. Let me get you next time because that way I know somebody's not trying to rob you, trying to do something, trying to get over. Yeah, you can't be going, hey man, you gotta slow down, man. You gotta slow down a little bit, Redhead. Because I like you, young man. I like your brain. I like you. I like how you think. Because you actually think. This is not complicated stuff, man. This is very, very anti-fanboy stuff. You gotta get over, people gotta get over their fanboyism. All right, but look, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Much love to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys so much for your support. But I got a basketball game for my son, so I'm gonna head out of here. Holler back at y'all. Deuces. See y'all tomorrow.